Hey guys, Level Cap here, and this week has been totally crazy for Battlefield 5. On Tuesday, we got a brand new patch that fixed some things, broke some other things. On Wednesday, Firestorm got updated with the new Dome addition to the map. And then today, Chapter 4 has kicked off, which includes a new medium machine gun unlock, a bunch of new cosmetic items as part of the Tides of War stuff, and, well, plenty of other things to talk about, including the Sundan limited release of the map. Let's get into it. Why not start off with Sundan? Obviously, one of the most anticipated pieces of content for any Battlefield release will be a brand new map. It adds new content, a new environment, new strategies, meta, all that kind of stuff. And we get it here in TDM and Squad Conquest. As I've mentioned in previous videos, the Conquest version of this map was delayed because there was a game-breaking bug with it, and so they're troubleshooting it and trying to fix it, and as soon as it's ready, it'll get put into Battlefield 5. I think most people really just want to play the Conquest version of this, but Squad Conquest isn't bad. I haven't tried TDM yet. It plays pretty well. It looks cool. There's lots of buildings to explode, so get your Piats and dynamite out for some fun building explosion. It's very infantry combat intensive, fast-paced. I like it. I really enjoyed the experience, but the experience on larger Conquest is going to be completely different, obviously. So, kind of hard to get an idea of what that's going to be like, since TDM and Squad Domination really focus around the urban areas of the map. Now, if you played a lot of Battlefield 1 as I have, you might also notice that some of these buildings seem very familiar, like the layout's almost identical. Oh wait, they are 100% identical. A lot of these buildings have been copy and pasted over from Battlefield 1. Initially, I was a little bit annoyed with this, especially given the lack of content in Battlefield 5. To have recycled content from BF1 coming into this game did irk me a little bit. But the building layouts themselves are good, the destruction mechanics work well, and if you think about it, there's really not a big architectural advancement between World War I and World War II, especially in these regions, I guess. So it does make a lot of sense to just reuse a lot of the building assets, right? If the buildings themselves didn't change in real life, why would we change them for a video game? So I'm sort of on the fence about the recycled asset stuff. It seems to work out just fine, and people can use it to do a graphics comparison between Battlefield 1 and Battlefield 5, as I'm seeing that's more of a popular topic lately. Since you kind of have to run Battlefield 5 on low settings, it ends up looking on par, if not maybe even worse than Battlefield 1. And so that's been an interesting point of discussion. Now you can literally compare two almost identical environments. Really though, the vast majority of the Battlefield community is not interested in Sundan on Squad Conquest and TDM. We want to play it on the larger format game mode, so we'll just have to hold out the overall review of the new map until that comes. What's next? There's a new weapon that you can unlock with the weekly Tides of War assignments. They're pretty easy to do. They mostly just involve killing people, capturing objectives, that sort of thing. It's pretty straightforward. A little bit of vehicle combat is required in there, but not too much. In fact, you can just drive around in a Jeep if you want and capture points to get score while in a vehicle. And so it didn't take me long at all to unlock the new medium machine gun, the S2-200. This is a precursor to the MG34, I believe, and it's got a 30-round magazine, which is very weird for a medium machine gun. It does have a very fast reload, though, on par with like an assault rifle or a light machine gun. So it's got some interesting speed up perks from normal weapons, but you still do have to deploy the bipod to ADS with it. It's very accurate, has a fast rate of fire at 770 starting off, and can be upgraded to 900 later. I played with it briefly. I only ranked it up to 2, almost 3. I'll play with it more for a more in-depth review later on. Ultimately, I can't say I'm really that excited whenever DICE adds a new medium machine gun to the game, because I think the mechanics and the meta surrounding MMGs right now is really bad. I don't enjoy it. I wish DICE would do a complete overhaul, so when they add a new gun to this weapon category, I'm sort of like, Cool, another MMG. It's going to be hard to argue for a 30-round MMG. I feel like the MG42 and the M1922 are sort of where it's at in terms of like the best MMGs right now. It's going to be really hard to see if a 30-round can even compete remotely against those two, but again, I'll be doing a more in-depth review later. My guess in terms of where it's supposed to fit in, though, is one of the most accurate MMGs in the game. So if you want to be able to laser beam people down from really far away, I was already having pretty good success in doing so. So cool, sort of the sniper of MMGs. Get ready for that in the new Battlefield meta. Now, next week's Tides of War doesn't give us any new weapons. Instead, it gives us a mediocre face paint. However, the week after that, we are getting a new semi-auto rifle for the assault class. I'm looking forward to trying that out. It's a Polish weapon, has a non-detachable magazine or something like that. We'll have to see how it plays out, but I'm all up for trying some new semi-auto rifles in this game for sure. Now, aside with the weekly Tides of War assignments, we also have the overarching chapter rank and chapter rewards for Chapter 4, and there's some pretty cool cosmetic stuff in there. First of all, there's a whole bunch of new ivory weapon skins that'll give your weapons ivory stocks, basically. All the wooden furniture on your guns will be replaced with sort of funky looking ivory, and then the metal furniture is kind of a bluish swirl type pattern there. I think it looks pretty good actually, especially for a green camo. Later on, you'll get waterproof style camos. There's a few epic ones in there for like the Enfield and the Bren. I think these ones also look really cool. Not disappointed at all with the weapon skins this time. I think looks a bit better than some of the previous camos released in the chapter rewards. We're also getting a bunch of uniform rewards. Some of them are extremely cool. The final one for chapter 4, the rank 41 that you get for the Germans, looks pretty dope. Very stealthy, very assassin-like. I think people are pretty excited about this one. There's also a bunch of American cosmetics in there. We're getting like an official GI uniform, 2 different helmet styles, and then I think 1 uniform style for it. It's not the first American cosmetics in the game. There's already been some that you can buy in the armory, or you could buy in the armory at a certain point. So we're getting some U.S. cosmetics in the game, even though the U.S. aren't technically a faction in the game yet, nor have we played any battles that the U.S. were a part of. I can't remember specifically. There might have been some. But yeah, there are some people that are annoyed that we're not getting that many authentic British uniforms. Like, we just still don't have really the red beret on its own, and yet we're still getting U.S. cosmetics while we don't have a fully complete British arsenal. You can certainly nitpick it. I'm excited to see new GI stuff in the game. It doesn't exactly make sense in terms of chronological and the battles that we're fighting and stuff, but you know, I want to get my American soldiers in here, so if we're getting some precursor cosmetics for that in the Tides of War stuff, then great. I'm curious to see what we'll actually get when the Pacific launches, though, since some of this stuff seems like pretty basic helmets. Won't we just be getting all the same content when the American faction launches? We'll have to see what DICE is going to do with that. Now, of course, there is a new Firestorm location, the giant dome, the Thunderdome, if you will. Everybody's going to go there as soon as you spawn into Firestorm and just kill each other. The problem I was having is that I played 2.5 hours playing as aggressively as possible, so that if I didn't spawn into a map location where the dome was in bounds, I would just go full aggro and die as quickly as I could. And in 2.5 hours, I did not spawn into one game of Firestorm with the dome in bounds. Luckily, though, my editor, Alex, was able to get into a game where the dome was in bounds, so we have some footage of it, and it does look cool. It looks like a little area to fight in. Nothing too crazy or special about it. But if DICE wants to promote new Firestorm content, new additions to the game, then look at your circle seeds, look at your spawn ratios, because if I'm getting into the vast majority of games where I can't even experience the new content, then you've got a problem with showing off new content. It seems like a pretty basic understanding there. If you want to promote Firestorm, kind of like Fortnite is promoting new Fortnite map changes and stuff, then at least let players experience the new content regularly when they spawn in. Now, as much as I like to get excited about new content in Battlefield games, new weapons, new cosmetics, new maps, all that stuff, it's hard to when the discussion and my mind keeps coming back to performance and sort of the health of the game itself. There's so many performance problems in Battlefield 5 right now and so many bugs still in the game. DICE is launching all this new content, which is great, but they need to fix the bugs. They need to fix the underlying bugs, and the latest patch, and to me anyway, feels like it made the game worse. And we can't keep having patches that seem like they're breaking more things than they're fixing. This is a major problem. People have been asking for like a big community health update, a big focus on the health of the game and all that kind of stuff. Features in game. I know DICE is working on it right now, and it's for the most part a lack of the community's understanding that they are working full tilt on making the game better. But we don't have things in the game right now like CTE. We don't have a good anti-cheat system. We don't have a lot of things that should be in Battlefield 5 right now. And a lot of them just aren't being discussed regularly by the dev team. And I think the community wants to know. It's like, what the hell is going on with performance? What happened with the last patch that made performance so much worse in the new patch? Like, we need a CTE to test this shit out before you launch a whole patch to everyone in the world that makes things worse. I would love to see CTE return and some other stuff return into Battlefield 5 so that we can get the health and quality of this game up to a full AAA release status. Anyway, guys, thanks for watching. Check out the new content for yourself. Hopefully we'll be getting Sundan in a week, hopefully not more than 2 weeks from now, and I'll catch you next time. This is Level Cap signing off.